There you go.
Welcome to the Start to Be Great podcast. It's a new year.
I'm Anna,
I'm Kimmy.
and we are talking about our love affair. We share the same love today.
We do.
His name is Jim.
Oh,
and
man.
we were talking about it, and you're gonna lift later. I lifted this morning. It's part of our everyday. And when you have a bad day, it feels better to go. And so we wanted to talk about it since everyone else seems to be thinking about how to improve their bodies this year.
Yeah, so it's a new year, and a lot of people make New Year's resolutions, and a lot of those New Year's resolutions have to do with fitness or getting in shape or losing weight or liking yourself a little bit more. And a lot of that stems with getting in the gym and doing something to move your body.
Which, to be fair, half of our country is obese, so it should be a resolution. I'm glad more people every single year are trying for it. Because you know what that tells me? A small percentage of those people will actually stick to it, but it's more than it was last year.
Yeah.
Because the other ones that fell in love with it last year are sticking with it usually.
Yeah.
So I think it's needed.
I think it's awesome. If you need a catalyst to kickstart something new, like a new positive change in your life, fucking take it. Like, take that catalyst and run with it and then keep it. You know, you can't make habits without it being new to start.
Exactly.
So today we're talking about the gym because it can be really intimidating getting started if you don't know how to start. Like it's like the podcast name. I mean, you have to start to be great. You have to start somewhere, and even if that means walking into the gym and just like reading the signs on the equipment to figure out how to use them, or to take one of your friends to the gym and be like, hey, do you want to look stupid together until we figure this out? And sometimes that's what it takes.
Yeah.
But we want to give some tips on what we did, and
also just open your mind, because if you're one of those people that is looking to get into fitness, wherever you're at on that journey, like we all started somewhere, and we're not all judgy. I don't know if that is an assumption by a lot of people or what, but I don't want. We jest, we joke about there's some people doing some dumb stuff in the gym, and it's entertaining and funny. But at the end of the day, I personally don't know anyone that goes to the gym that I am friends with or talk to that looks down on someone who's starting to improve their life in that way. In fact, we all want to help you, and so this topic was inspired by someone I met. She actually sold me my gun last year, so I don't know her very well, but she knows me well enough on Instagram to know that I lift, and she asked me for help, and I was like, fuck yeah, dude, I would love to. And so I was like, let me know when you start, because I'm not gonna hold someone's hand, but if they want to put the work in and come to me, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm pumped on it, and I can help refer her to trainers, because I'm not a trainer myself, but I can tell her how machines work, and that's it. I would love to do that.
Sometimes it can take something casual like that to be better. Sometimes, of course you could walk into a gym and ask for a trainer.
Yeah.
But that can also be really intimidating to talk to somebody you don't know about stuff where they're gonna make you do whatever they want to do. You don't really get a say in it. Be like, I really want to work my legs today, but I'm really focused on this because this is what I'm comfortable with right now. And they may push you too hard, too fast.
Yeah. Plus, I think that with training, I used to work out at LA Fitness years ago, and the trainers that come stock there, it's not impressive. They're on their phones, some of them are overweight and not healthy themselves, and I'm just okay, So I think trainers and coaches are best to get referred by someone because they probably have seen them training people, and they know how they behave, and they know how much they care and they know what the results look like. So that's how I would do it. I would ask somebody at the gym that you make a friend with and trust them, and then go that route versus just picking someone random.
Yeah. How did your journey into this start? Do you remember the first time you walked into a gym?
I don't remember the first. I started weightlifting in high school. My buddy was in wrestling and weightlifting, and so I just remember just jumping in, doing random shit with them, and But when I really started working out, I was afraid to go to the free weight section. Like I would only use machines and like not even plate loaded. I didn't want to like put a plate on because I didn't want to put it on and realize it was too heavy just to immediately take it off and go back down. So I didn't want to deal with that. So I just went to like the basic ass machines that were very, very simple to understand. And I was, it was very intimidating.
So one thing I just remembered, it's obviously not my first exposure to the gym like in my current lifestyle, but I used to go to the gym called Curves with my mom. My mom would take me with her because she didn't have like childcare for me, and so they just let me just sit in there and watch her work out. And what was cool about Curves was it was a circuit, like it was like a room, and like you went from machine to machine, like on like they had a clock and it was like a time interval, and like they did it like a machine to machine, and that's what I watched for the like. That's what I thought the gym was for a long time, because that's the only exposure I had to. I mean, I was like 5 or 6. I mean, I was not like, but I just watched my mom work out there, and so that's what I thought like the gym was. Then I got into sports pretty heavily, and so that was my exposure. They would put us through workouts and all sorts of stuff, but we only did like, what was told of us. So it wasn't until I was wanting to change the way my body looked and get stronger when I really stepped into the gym in like a solo setting.
Yeah.
Because previously it had all been like group sports, like you're with people. It's obviously comfortable because you have a coach literally yelling at you for what to do next. You know, like it was fine. But like when I walked in, I'm like, oh, I don't really know how to do this, especially not by myself. It was nice. I had somebody show me a few things, but still, even when they would show me like some machines, like I would stick to the cardio. Like I'd be like, all right, well I did like bicep curls and now I'm gonna go spend an hour on the Stairmaster. I did what I was comfortable with.
Yeah, I mean that's how you gotta start. And then you know what happens is you're like, I never did the stairs really. I was always a treadmill fan. I still am. But sometimes like when it's busy, you meet people like on the treadmill. That's like a good way to make friends. Like people like if you're walking for 40 minutes or whatever. It's a good way to make friends. But yeah, I had friends teaching me stuff. So like, ask people that know what they're doing. Don't be afraid. Like, if you ask anyone for help and they give you a hard time, maybe they're not a good person. I mean, a little joke here and there, whatever. Yeah. But like, if you're being serious and you just want help and they tease you, and mess with you, like fuck those people. Like that's not cool. So ask someone else. We all want to see you succeed. Honestly, we talked about this in the New Year's Eve one that we did. The physical, how I wasn't sure if I wanted to set physical goals for myself because I was maintaining, and I was like slapping myself. I'm like, Anna, what is wrong with you? Like, are you just giving up? You're 34 years old. Like, settle down. Like, it was just dumb. And what I realized was I was setting the bar too low. I'm like, I had to make myself remember how good I felt when I was in really great shape. Like when I could go on a long walk or a mile run and it wouldn't kill me. And when I felt good, when I felt strong, you feel better mentally. And so I don't know what your motivation is for wanting to make yourself get in the gym or do whatever, if you want to do CrossFit or just walk more. Just know that it's gonna take some time, but like, oh my god, when you feel good physically, you feel so good mentally. Like nobody can fuck with me now. Like when I'm in my physical, I'm not there right now, like where I really want to be, but I'm like, you feel good. It's not about it.
I think it's really powerful to take action on your own. Like once you start seeing the progress and you start seeing the strength gains, it's like pretty addictive. Yeah. Like to want to get better, it starts to actually feel good to move your muscles. Like we'll go into the gyms, and of course sometimes you're like, man, I just don't feel it today. Like you feel like shit. Like some days, like when you get on a machine and you're like working out, and it just feels good to move your body that way. Yeah. Like it's an awesome feeling.
I think it's really cool that you're working on yourself. It's like if you imagine you're like a statue, like, and you're chiseling off these like pieces, and you're literally creating yourself in an image that you're designing it. Yeah, and it's cool because you actually get to see it, and I don't know. It's something really good about it.
That's literally why I was so in love with bodybuilding for so long, because of the cause and effect. You know, you put this in your body food-wise, and you do these workouts and do progressive overload and progress, you know, in weight and in reps, as you know, regarding on what your goals are. Like, this will happen to your body. Like A plus B equals C, and I loved that. It was like, if you put calories in and you expend calories out, you will lose weight, you know. Like, I just love that part of it. I love that it was like a direct correlation of something that I did equals output, like equals like a consequent to something that I wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what, the best part about, like, you know, we've talked about this many times, I'm not a competitor, but I want to look good, but more importantly, like, I just want to feel good. Like, that's my main focus, and my main focus is like long-term health, and mobility, like being able to take care of myself as I get older. And I think that, like, oh my god, did I just lose my train of thought? Dude, it's New Year's Day.
Today has been a day for me as well.
Tell them how your morning started while I collect myself.
Well, so it's New Year's Day. We went out last night with some friends, and it was really fun. We got, you know, we got drinks. We had like a lot of laughs. It was a really good time. I wake up this morning and body doesn't like it. It's fine. I was like super hungover this morning, but I'm getting here. I'm disoriented. We had an event to be at noon, and I get to your house and we were running late, so you're already in the car for me. And I was like, yep, grabbing my stuff, get in the car. And in my seat is this beautiful bagel sandwich. And I'm like, oh.
With a fried egg on it.
With a fried egg. And I'm like, she loves me. And so I step in and I get in, and we're already running late, because I'm like
So I'm driving.
Running late. So she's driving away from her house, and I eat the sandwich, and I didn't realize that it was a fried egg, or I don't know what I was thinking, but like the yolk pops and goes all over the front of me. I'm talking like, I didn't know how much yolk an egg could contain until today. I'm talking like from my collarbone down to my hips, covered in yolk. And you're driving, and I'm like, Anna. And you look over and you're like, oh my god. We turn around, I throw my shirt off and throw something else on, and we get going. But it's you know how it's like, welcome 2023. You're gonna be amazing.
Yeah. It was good. Wherever that yolk shirt is, you better make sure you rinse that clean. Yeah. Fun fact, I still don't remember what the book I was saying. You know what? Here's the thing. Oh, you know what? I just did. Look at I coached myself before I forget it. Yesterday, so I want to be happy. So yesterday was New Year's Eve. I didn't even go to the gym. Now, I'm normally at like a 6 to 7 day a weeker kind of gal, just because I like it, not because I'm like stressing over it. But I'm really to a point where it doesn't make me upset anymore to not go. And so yesterday I purposely chose to go ride horses. That's like something I'm very excited about to go do. And then I got some work done. But I was like, normally I would have beat myself up and like stressed out over not have going. And I'm like, it was the last day of the year. Like, I gotta go. Like, why am I not doing it the last day of the year? But like, I really didn't care. And you know, I went this morning, but like, had I missed it for something else, like it wouldn't have bothered me, as long as I'm like not letting it become like a chain reaction, because that's when you let it slip too many times, that's how it kind of becomes a routine of not going. But I think it's good to find a balance and like just know that like, one, you're not always gonna want to go, but you got to make yourself. You need to create the habit. But two, it's also on the other side of that, like it's a fine line. You also have to allow yourself some flexibility. Like if you need to spend time with your family and you didn't have time that day because you had to work an overtime shift or whatever the heck, life happens, like you don't beat yourself up. Like choose the thing that's gonna help you, whichever it is in that moment. Maybe it is the gym that day, and maybe it's your family. Like it really depends on the person.
I think that's how a lot of resolutions fail. Is you mess up 1 or 2 times and you're like, the whole thing's over. And it's like, no, like
take it. You're gonna mess up.
Take it as like, okay, well, I didn't get there today, and then go tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, don't take the whole thing as don't set resolutions that are so strict that you can't possibly, if you say like, I am going to go to the gym every single day, or I'm going to work out for at least 30 minutes every single day, and you miss one day and you're like, well, I already messed up. Like, don't set it, be like, let that be a goal if that's your goal, but like, don't set it as like a strict guideline.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Start small. Like, if you don't have a habit of going to the gym at all, you don't need to set a time limit for how long you're there. You don't need to set an amount of like exercises or reps that you do, or how long, like how long you stay or whatever. You need to set a time for like just getting there. Mm-hmm. If you get there that day and you spend 10 minutes there, that's more than you did last year, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, if your goal is 3 times a week, because you can't do multiple habits at once. Like, that's how shit fails. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to work on one thing at a time. Like, if you're like, I'm gonna do this much on cardio every single day, and I'm gonna do abs, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna hit, I mean, it's good to set goals, but also like recognize that you're building a habit. This is a lifestyle. It's not just like something that you do want. Like, you're not just gonna do it and stop. Like, this is probably something that you're going to incorporate in your life somehow for forever. Mm-hmm. If you're doing it properly, you'll want to maintain it.
Yeah.
So
I like it. One thing I wanted to bring up was, you said that like if you needed help to approach somebody in the gym, right? Because the thing I have a problem with is unsolicited advice. I've been new to the gym.
Yeah.
And I'll be, I see things on Pinterest or YouTube and I'll be like, I'm going to try that. And I could be doing it wrong, but I also could be doing a variation of something that you're not used to. Well, I was doing an exercise when I was newer to this, and I had somebody like walk up to me and be like, hey, just so you know, like the way you're doing that can, put strain on your knees or whatever. It's probably not something you should be doing, or you should be doing this as some instead, but I didn't ask for it. And the thing is, I recognized he was probably coming from a good place. Mm-hmm. I could have been doing something wrong and it could damage my knees, and I'm glad that he felt, that he wanted to share that. But also, I was so mortified. I left. Like, after that, I left.
And in the moment, it's like, do you want to try anything new after that?
No.
And you're like, that's like, you're building this little bit of confidence, and then somebody just like,
so as a personal trainer, I'll go into the gym and I'll see people doing stuff that sometimes I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
but
dude,
like,
we do some double takes. We're like,
but that's the thing. It's like, I'm like, hey, you do you type thing. If you're gonna injure yourself, I may say something. Like, if you're like actually doing something that could, like, if you load three plates on a barbell and you're about to like front squat it, and it's obvious you're not going to be able to, like, I'm probably gonna, like, I don't know if I'll say anything, but I'm gonna watch, and if you start to like look like you're gonna injure yourself, I will probably say something. Like, if you're gonna do damage to yourself or people around you, I'm probably gonna say something.
Yeah.
But if you just look like, you're doing like a movement kind of awkward, I'm not going to say something because you didn't ask.
Yeah.
And I know that could be intimidating to ask, but I've been on the receiving end of that, and I'm not gonna make anybody feel like that, like I felt that day. And I'm also like, you like, I'm not going to say that what I'm doing is better for you.
Yeah.
Then, like, I could think you could do something more efficiently, but you could also, I have clients who have had full hip replacements, and they literally can't move the way that is conventional for that movement. Right. And so we have found a way that they can get contraction, but it looks different. Yeah. And so you have no idea what, previous injuries or whatever you're going with. So if I probably won't correct you without your prompting, but I would be more than happy to help you if you ask.
Yeah, same. I've had people ask me like how to use equipment, mostly like women, and I mean, I love helping. My only advice to that would be, don't interrupt in the middle of a set, and like wait till the person is resting, and don't overstay your welcome. So like, ask for help, and then, maybe like, hey, say your name or something, but then like, don't try and sit and have a conversation with someone that's like working in the middle of working out. Like,
and also, if you catch the vibe that like, hey, they're get there to get in and get out, don't take it personally that they don't want to help you. Try somebody else.
Yeah.
Like they just may not be, in a good headspace to help you, or they might not want to at all. That could be completely fine. But like, you find somebody like Anna and I, and we would love to help you. So please keep going.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, there are days that I am like using the gym as my outlet for anger and hostility, and I'm pretty sure that those days are very clear. I know Terry has teased me a couple times. He's like, are you feeling murdery today? And I'm like, no, I'm good. And I'm like, trust me, you'll fucking know. I will avoid eye contact.
Yeah.
But Yeah, but like you said, don't take it personally.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you don't know what the other person's going through, and it's likely not about you.
Yeah.
Nobody cares what you're doing except for you.
Exactly.
It's literally and not just in the gym, everywhere.
You walk into the gym and you're subconscious, so you're obviously thinking that people are going to be looking at you, but nobody's looking at you. Like for real. Like you could think like, oh, I'm super uncomfortable on this, or like you drop a weight off of like a set and like people look over because it made a noise. Like they're not judging you.
Yeah.
Like trust me, I have done every single thing that you can do to embarrass yourself in the gym. I have done it.
One time,
I still go.
Remember that one time that we were trying to make a reel?
No.
You like pull up with the sunglasses.
Okay, so we're making this cool reel, where the girl is doing a one-armed pull-up, but she has sunglasses on the top of her head, and she does like a head nod, and the sunglasses go onto your face, and I was like, let's do it. I want to be badass like this, and so I'm doing this. I do my first pull-up, and I didn't look above me. I headbutt a bar. Immediately.
You were so pissed.
I was so mad at myself. It hurt so bad.
I felt so bad. I got it on video.
Yeah, it's on video. See it in the link below. I'm just kidding.
Oh god.
Yeah, like I've done it. Trust me. I've been at the end of my on a heavy chest day, and I started the chest day repping 135 on bench, right? And so I'm like feeling good. And then I was like, at the end of my workout, I'm like, I still have some energy left. I'm gonna barbell bench some more. And so I throw 25s on, 95 pounds. And I'm like, I normally can rep this for a lot. Well, it's the end of my chest day. I said, regrets have been made. And I'm at the bottom of my bench and I cannot get out. I'm like trying to shimmy the weights off. Like, I'm like, and I literally, and like people ran over. I swear, I've never been more mortified in my life. But then I like look around, like they helped me. And then I look around and nobody's looking at me anymore. Like, I am the color of a tomato, and I'm mortified, and I'm thinking everybody is laughing at me, and it's nobody gave a fuck.
Literally.
They're glad I didn't get hurt, and then they move on.
Because we've all done it.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, too, like, everybody is insecure and self-conscious in some way. Even, like, some of the most gorgeous women that you see at the gym, they, like, don't feel comfortable taking pictures or having their pictures taken, and they need to, like, find that in themselves to reassure themselves, like I don't like to wear, unless it's really hot, I don't like to like just wear a sports bra in the gym. Yeah. Because that's awkward for me. Why? I don't know. Yeah. It's just one of those things. And but like people that are like, I mean, with the exception of our Olympian athletes, I'm sure I'm sure she has insecurities too, and other people. But even the ones that are wearing like the best gym clothes and looking like youth, in your mind they're like perfect physique and like look amazing. I guarantee you they're like have some negative things to say about themselves. Like it's just human nature. Yeah. But you tell that bitch voice to shut up and just get in there and do it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited. I've just really been wanting people to care more about their health. And physical health is it's so good for so many reasons. And yeah, I don't want to make it harder for people by like not making it an open environment. And we work at a gym that's like hardcore compared, like if you're new, it's like just going in. I mean, we were talking to one of our friends who is a guy, and he said that when he first came in there, he was intimidated because he's like, I'm the smallest person here. Yeah. And everybody is so muscular and so like jacked, and he's like, and I got these tiny little arms, and and he's just, and I'm like, dude, but he hired a trainer, and now he's feeling more confident. Yeah, you asked him what like his favorite thing about the gym was, and he, in his response, like really touched me. He was like, I just really like to feel strong, and Kelly makes me feel like I'm strong. I'm like, oh, okay. Yes. Like there's so much more than just aesthetics. Like it helps your mental state. It helps how you feel about yourself. It helps alleviate your mood. I mean, you get endorphins. Like there's so many benefits other than like you can love the way you look and not want to change a single thing, and the gym is still beneficial to you. Yeah. Do you know what is another thing too that we haven't hit on yet? So I was having a conversation. Sorry, I'm like, I can't sit still. Restless legs.
Yeah.
I was talking to my friend Nicole on the phone, and we were talking about girlfriends. Now, did you know that you can do Bumble for friends?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
It doesn't work very well for me. It didn't. My experience with it wasn't great.
She didn't have a great experience either. Yeah. But so she told me, she was like, well, how do you, like, you seem to make friends really easily. Like, how do you make friends? Like, it's because I feel like it's hard to make friends as an adult. It's harder than it is, or than, than it was when we were kids. I don't know. I feel like it is, but it's like, hey, I like you. Want to hang out? I'm not gay. Like, let's just give me your number.
Yeah, it is harder because
it's weird.
Like when you're younger, like you have activities. Like that's where you meet people. You either at school where you see them in a structured time every single day, or it's like on a soccer team, like you have practice like all the time, and you already know that you like the same thing because you're doing the same thing. It's an event, so it's really hard to make friends when. Like, and a lot of times, like, even, like, you think, oh, well, the gym's a commonality, like, make friends in the gym, but it's like, okay, well, a lot of people want to get in and get out, and it's like, okay, I don't want to take your time, at the gym, but I don't feel like that. I feel like that's, like, some people's, sentiment, but, like, I don't feel like that. The gym is where I make a ton of friends.
Well, that's my point, and that's what I'm getting at, is, when you keep showing up, because it took months before you and I talked, but it was like, we saw each other, so you immediately feel like that girl's always here. I know her, even though you don't know her yet, or him, whatever. It's like you do because you're like, oh, you come in the gym the same time I do. Yeah. Like we're almost friends. And I've ran into people out in the grocery store, and they feel like, hey, like you go to hug, and it's cool because you feel like that connection with them the longer you see them. So. Not only are you getting the physical benefit of training your body and then your mental mind is just improving by being more positive and endorphins, all that jazz, but by showing up over and over and over again, you're gonna recognize these people, and eventually, you can make it happen sooner than later. You don't have to wait forever, but eventually you will probably make some friends. And my friend Nicole was like, how do you make friends? And I'm like, honestly, I make myself go do hobbies. And I'm like, I know the gym isn't like a hobby, but like kind of. It's an activity that I go do all the time. And you can go at different time slots and see who hangs out at the gym at this time. And
I love going to the gym at different times because I work there, so I'm there all the time. I work out around the same time every day. But like I'll like show up on a random like later evening, and people will be like, what are you doing here? And like I love the gym as a social thing. Like it's one of my favorite places to talk to people. And people are like, how can you be in the gym for so long? And it's like, well, there's some days, of course, like I'm here for a purpose, and then please don't interrupt me. But like most of the time, like I'm not a person that wears headphones in the gym. Like even when I'm alone, I don't wear headphones because I want to be approachable. To me, that is like a universal signal that you can come talk to me. As long as I'm not actively working out. Yeah. But like it's a sign of like, hey, I'm here, I'm welcome. If I have my headphones in, I really don't want to talk. Because I don't wear them normally, but if I have them in,
Dude, I've even worn headphones doing my sets with a trainer once.
I would be so weird.
Well, because it was multiple people, so he would get us set up, and he would go help me, and then go back and forth, and I'm like, listen, this gym music sucks. When you walk away, unless you're gonna stand there and like count for me, I need music that I like need to get pumped up for. And he was pushing me hard, so like I don't think he was offended by it, but like looking back, it was a little weird, but
yeah, I feel you.
Yeah,
I could challenge you to say that you could work on your mental fortitude and not need music, but
Listen, I didn't have music the entire time I was in the Marine Corps. I think that's sufficient. We never got to train with music.
You could try mental sharpness currently.
No.
That'd be like, well, I used to be a bodybuilder, so I don't need to lift anymore because I have those muscles.
Not my resolution for the year.
Just saying.
Actually, I have. You know what? Because when my headphones are dead or when I forget them at home, I don't drive back. I just suffer.
Just suffer.
Yeah.
I love it.
So I do.
I'm messing with you. I like music in the gym too. I just it's funny.
I'm like, man, I don't even live that far.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be like, oh, can't go to the gym today. Like, get over it. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
There was a point in time where I carried a backup pair of headphones in my car so that wouldn't happen. Yeah. And they had a cord. They were like old school, like backups.
Oh yeah, where like the dogs shoot on one of the ends. So it's like weird. And yeah, no, I have one of those pairs.
Oh, my dog is good. She doesn't chew on stuff.
Well,
yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, I don't really know what else there is to say about it. Like,
I think we're both in a really good headspace today. Like, of course, my morning didn't start off like amazing, being the first day of the year, but like because I was hungover. But it was still a wonderful day. I have loved every part of today, and I have such like excitement for this year.
Yeah, no, like, I'm excited too.
And yeah,
so, I think that's the. You know, I came to that realization yesterday and then again this morning. So yesterday was New Year's Eve, and my day. You know when you have like something that happens and then something else happens and it's little, and then your mind just goes, well, I guess that's just the day that I'm having, and you're like, fuck, it's all ruined. And I'm like, I like caught myself in the middle of it. I'm like, okay, what are you doing? Like, really? And it goes back to that, you know, if someone stole $10 from you, are you gonna let them take the, like, are you just gonna throw away the rest of the $86,000 that you have? That's supposed to represent the seconds in the day, right? And it's like, no, no. So I actually had a really good day yesterday. I had to force myself through some of it. Like I was definitely like in a weird mental place, but I didn't let it get ruined. And then today, like, my morning didn't go exactly as I wanted it to, but like, again, like you said, you know, if your New Year's resolution is to do something physical or whatever it is, expect to fail, expect to not be perfect, expect to make mistakes, and just keep doing it.
Yeah, learn from it and keep going. Take those small wins and take your losses as lessons.
And realize that you have to be flexible in order to get stuff done, and make yourself happy. Like the point is not to just, oh, I made my goal and then but you hated your life during the whole process. Like, the point is the process. And so, you know,
that's all that life is. Like, that's crazy to me. It's like you work and work and work towards like the goal, but like, what did you do while you were working that you weren't living?
Yeah. The goal lasts like a minute. You're like, cool,
was the living.
I did it. Now what? You either just sit there and like do nothing, like you can call it living, or you can just say you're just being there.
Yeah.
Or you can find a new goal and get to it.
Kills. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, this is our first episode of the year.
2023.
On the first, too. We're recording it. It's Sunday, so it is the 1st of January right now. Yep. And so that's pretty fun. We're gonna be coming up with some new stuff.
Yeah.
And hopefully you guys enjoy it as well, because we've been having fun, but we want to push ourselves and challenge ourselves to grow a little bit more within this podcast.
Yeah. Big goals for this year. Hope you guys made some for yourself.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, we won't keep rambling anymore, as I need to walk my dog, and Kimmy's gonna go
to the gym.
Work out. It's today's day.
Just do.
Your favorite day.
It is. Yeah. Chest and shoulders.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and we will see you